Let's see. I used to play in a band. Technical things always happen when you start. Where are we? Well, I have the opportunity to talk to you about how we, Nordland County Council, work with climate issues and circular economy. And I understand that this audience here is well qualified and know a lot about these things. So this is how we think and work. Seen in a world context, Norway is one of a limited number of countries who has extensively built in wood. And a wooden building economy provides opportunities and challenges when considering climate change. And our timber tradition here in Norway, they could withstand our cold climate. We did this by employing laughter or timber frame structures. They, as you know, have a natural insulation, and by arranging the buildings in an intelligent way, they sheltered from the weather. Using wood produced durable buildings constructed for a long lifespan. And my private home, which is not one of those, my home was built by my grandfather in 1936. It's now 87 years old, and my family still lives in it. My wife and I, the kids, are away studying. Of course, it's modernized with new windows, more isolation, insulation, and doors, and a new roof, but it's still the same structure of wood that my grandpa built. This example here, you see the roof was built with an overhang projecting from eaves to lead water away from the walls of the building and avoid water damage. And the way we build has changed in recent years. Today we opt for cheaper building materials, and these are typically treated to provide weather durability like old oil-based paint. And the development in building techniques and machinery also have enabled us to place building almost everywhere, which, if you watch the news in Norway during the fall and winter, I sometimes wonder why on earth did you place that building there. So this sort of sense of control contrasts strongly with traditional buildings. Nature used to set the premise for location and survival, and we have moved from a traditional circular economy to a linear economy. It's now usually cheaper to buy new and throw away the old, unfortunately. So, and I would like to demonstrate the impact of climate change with an example from a place called Kjerringøy, just north of Bodø. I guess it will be in that direction. Here is Kjerringøy, which is an old trading post with old wooden houses, and the buildings were subjected to water damage caused by heavy rain. And to avoid damage from ground condition, the museum dug trenches to aid drainage, and the buildings were supported using steel jacks. This response to a given emergency illustrates the type of challenges we as government will face in the years to come and due to the climate change. And the County Council and the Parliament has ambitious goals for the entire county and throughout our organization, in which we aim to reduce emissions by 60% by 2030. That will be a rough ride. Sometimes I'm not sure if that will happen, but that's what we aim at. And our regional plan for climate and the environment outlines several focus areas and strategies to help ensure that we reach these goals. Circular economy is key within this, looking to ensure effective use of new and existing resources, both in terms of materials and buildings. And it's my job in my department to be a safe keeper of cultural heritage. And we have a responsibility to show how it is more sustainable to take care of existing buildings than it is to demolish them and build new ones. This relates to embodied carbon and economically managing the resources. And an independent research organization named SINTEF in 2019 stated that more than 80% of the building structures today must still be in use in 2050 if we are to reach our goals. So that indicates that most of the buildings we have or in the future, they are already built. Of course, we will need to build some new ones, but we should also take care of the ones we have. The next image is from a town called Mosjøen. It's an old street from the 1800s with historic buildings. And this place called Sjøgata in local dialect, or Sjøgato, it was planned to be demolished and become a parking lot. We're all very happy that that didn't happen. And work was done to restore all this building, and it's now a beautiful place to walk around, and people live there and work there. There are small businesses. So, and one result of this successful story is that many residents chose to stay rather than to relocate. And local engagement is central to this, empowering residents to engage with and care for the place where they live, and in a way which contributes to climate goals. And the last image I will show you is from my own hometown and community or municipality. It's called Hadsel, and my hometown is Stokmarknes. This is the high school, and it's brand new. This is the new section. And when we as an authority need to build new buildings, because we focused on energy, ventilation and heating. In Stokmarknes, we installed ventilation units which recycles 80% of the energy in the air used in ventilation. On the roof there, we also added 340 square meters of solar cells, making it one of the largest installations in northern Norway. And in surplus periods, it sells energy back to the grid. And the old part of the building where I have my office when I work as a teacher and not being a full-time politician, they have renovated the old section from the early 1990s with a new facade and more energy-effective windows and better ventilation. So in all, that is a good example. And the students who are there and the teacher really like their work environment. To come to an end here, Bodo, where you are now, will host the European Capital of Culture, and it's going to be the most sustainable European Capital of Culture ever. And one of the ways this will be achieved is by working with ecological economy and sustainability. And the ideas of ecological economy will be central throughout the year. And we'll all strive to use the infrastructure already in place in Nordland County to avoid building new ones. Or one new area that will be taken in use are the beautiful and already existing famous Norwegian tourist cabins out in our mountains. So we welcome you back to Nordland County and Bodo next year, and you should all take a hike if you have the opportunity. So in the spirit of circular economy, returning to my opening statements, previously we built and lived according to the premises set by nature. And it is important that we get back to this way of thinking, because we've done it before and we can do it again. So thank you, and again, welcome to Bodø County.